Welcome to all students for the projection of solid, that is unit 2. Myself Professor Shinde Devi. Today we will see the unit 2, that is projection of solid, the first lecture. Projection of solids. Definition of solid. Now what do you mean by solid? A solid is a three-dimensional object having length, breadth and thickness. It is completely bounded by a surface or surfaces which may be curved or plane. The shape of the solid is described by drawing its two orthographic views, usually on the two principal planes HP and VP, that we call draw the projection, means draw the two orthographic views. For some complicated solids, in addition to the above principal views, side view is also required. A solid is an aggregate of points, lines, and planes, and all problems on the projection of the solids would resolve themselves into projection of points, lines, and planes, because solid is made of number of points, number of lines, and that line will contribute the planes, and that planes are joined. Now the classifications of the solids. Solids may be divided into two main groups: polyhedra solids of revolution. Polyhedra. Now we look for the polyhedra. A polyhedra is defined as a solid bounded by the planes. Planes means plates, called faces, which meet in a straight line called edges. There are 7 regular polyhedra which may be defined as stated below. 1 prism, 2nd pyramid, 3rd tetrahedron, 4th cube or hexahedron, octahedron, dodecahedron, icosahedron. Now we'll look for the first prism. It is a polyhedra having two equal and similar faces called its ends or bases. Two equal and similar faces called its ends or bases, parallel to each other and joined by another faces which are rectangles. Now here we are looking, the top face and the bottom face is a triangle. Both are equal and similar faces. They are called ends or bases, and they are parallel to each other, and they are joined by the three rectangles. Triangle has three sides, and three sides rectangle, that are called the faces. The imaginary line joining the centers of the bases or faces. Here the top face and bottom face is a triangle. Its center, both the center we know, and that both top and bottom center are joined. That line is the imaginary line, and it is called the axis of the prism. Top face and bottom faces. Edges. Edges means two rectangles meet at one edge. They are joined at two edges. According to the shape of its base, prism can be classified into following types. A. Triangular prism. Top face, bottom face triangles, three rectangles, side rectangles, triangular prism. B. Square prism. Square means top face, bottom face square, and they are having four rectangular side faces. C. The pentagonal prism. 5 sides, pentagon, top face, bottom face, pentagon, side 5 faces, rectangle. hexagonal prism, top face, bottom face, hexagon, 6 sides, 6 rectangular faces, side faces, pyramid. This is the polyhedra having plane surface as a base. The base is plane surface and number of triangular faces meeting at a point called the vertex or apex. This is the triangular face, triangular prism, pyramid. Base is a triangle. There are 3 side isosceles triangles. The imaginary line joining the apex with the center of the base is called the axis of the pyramid. This is the axis, it is joining the apex and base of the shape, that is, here is a triangle. These are the edges. This is base. According to the shape of its base, pyramid can be sub-classified into following types. Triangular pyramid. Base is triangle, meet at one apex at the top, 3 sides, 3 isosceles triangles. Square pyramid, base is a square, 4 triangular side faces. Pentagonal pyramid, base is a pentagon and 5 isosceles side faces, isosceles triangular side faces. Hexagonal pyramid, base is a hexagon and 6 isosceles triangular side faces. Now we will study the solid of revolution. When a solid is generated by the revolution of the plane figure, here a plane figure will be rectangle for the center about a fixed axis, then such solids are named as solids of revolution. Solids of revolution may be following types: cylinder, cone, sphere, ellipsoid, paraboloid, hyperboloid. Now we look for a cylinder. A right circular cylinder is a solid generated by the revolution of the rectangle about its vertical side, which remains fixed. Now this is a axis, rectangle, half rectangle. Find now this rectangle will be revolved. So that revolution path is traced here. We will obtain a cylinder. Base. Cone. A right circular cone is a solid generated by revolution of right angle triangle about its vertical side, which remains fixed. Here the axis, that is vertical side, remains fixed. We will obtain the right angle triangle and we revolve it, and that path is traced here to form a cone. That is axis, fixed with base. Generators. Important terms used in the projection of the solids. Edge or generator. For pyramids and prism, edge are lines separating the triangular faces or the rectangular faces from each other. For cylinder, generators are the straight lines joining different points on the circumference of the bases with each other. Important terms within projection of solids. Apex of the solids. A cone and pyramid. Apex is the important where all the generators or the edges meet. Here there is shown both the triangular pyramid, apex, edges, generators in the cones, apex. Here the cylinder and prism is shown, top face, bottom face, edges for the generator, vertical straight line in a cylinder we call generator, here we call edges. Axis of the solid. For cone and pyramids, axis is an imaginary line joining the center of the base to the apex. For cylinder and prism, axis is an imaginary line joining the center of the end of the basis. Right solid. A solid is said to be right solid if its axis is perpendicular to its base. This is very important factor, that axis is completely perpendicular for the base. Now the oblique solid. A solid is said to be oblique solid if its axis is inclined at an angle other than 90 to its base. Here we are saying the base is flat but its axis is inclined. Important terms used in projection of solid. A solid is said to be regular solid if all edges of the base or end faces of the solids are equal in length and form regular plane figures. Frustum of the solid. When a pyramid or a cone is cut by a plane parallel to its base, thus removing the top portion, the remaining lower portion is called frustum. Here is the top portion of the square pyramid is cut by the cutting plane parallel to the base, which is shown in the red color. The remaining portion is called frustum of pyramid. Truncated solid. When a pyramid or a cone is cut by a plane inclined to its base, thus removing the top portion, the remaining lower portion is called to be truncated. Thank you.